There are other ways as well to attack and destroy the opponent's defense. For example, one of the best ways that we know about is the typical sacrifice on h7, the so-called grease gift. The grease gift happens when we have a position similar to this from white side, and we actually play the move of pawn to e5. Now this is a very beautiful way, because this move attacks f6, takes that knight out of the way. And what happens is that when the black knight moves, so for example it goes to the d5 or anything similar, we've got this perfect opportunity to proceed with bishop takes h7. You need to know about this so-called grease gift sacrifice, as it helps us to realize what's really most important as in these positions. I've always used to say that when the pawn advances d5 and the knight is out, the move on moves like bishop takes h7 exists, but why is it so strong? That's that kind of sacrifice by white. What does it do it? Well, at the first place, actually, once we do that sacrifice and then black it takes back, we've got knight g5 check coming. But it's not so much about knight g5. It's more about what happens when the black king moves away to g8. We can have this ability of placing the queen onto h5, and actually we've got an option to play for queen h7, which is going to be an actual checkmate. The trouble is that none of black's pieces could be anyhow of support near the king's side, and, it's if black plays the move of rook f to e8, we can see queen takes f7, king h8, another check from h5, another check from h7, the check from h8, and a final checkmate from the g7 pawn. So this is too bad, and I really don't think that black can handle it. It's a really beautiful move, this queen to h5. So do we say that bishop takes h7 works all the time? And okay, all right, this is clear how it works. If the black king goes down there, it goes to h6, we can do knight takes f7 and we'll win the queen. But what happens if black does king g6? Well, in this case, what I believe white can do is to continue with the move like queen to h4, or queen to g4. Now, the truth is that black will have a hard time stopping knight takes d6, or even a more beautiful move, which is going to be h4. h4 creates the threat of h5 in order to force the black king to go back to h6, after which white can very easily discover a check with knight takes f7 and his queen falls. If the rook moves down there, we've got queen d3. His pawn has to move, otherwise he loses. And we see g4 check, king to g4 check, and a beautiful checkmate. So, should white play with f5, we actually have he takes f with a discover check. We've got one more from f3. We've got one more from f7. Then we've got final one from b5. The two most powerful attacking pieces in chess happen to be the queen and the knight. The reason is because they are most mobile, they're most flexible, and when they are connected between each other, then the attacks become almost unstoppable. This is really too bad for black to handle. I don't know what he can do, but it looks hard. And so what I can say is that, generally speaking, this is not working. And okay, obviously after playing with the move e5, it will be difficult for him to arrange his pieces in order to defend well on that side. So what else can black do? Well, that's hard to suggest actually. Well, the truth is after e5 he's in a bad position. Let's take a look at another example following the very same T. Another example is how do we prepare more for that? So here is what we have on the board right now. A position in which Y is looking forward to bishop takes h7, but he can't yet do it, because if he does, then black is going to take it back with his king, and after that he's going to be in a pretty good condition. So we don't have a follow-up, as we said. So what do we do? Say, because that sacrifice is still in our mind, there's a possibility, but we don't want to exactly do it right now. What we want to do is to actually play the move of tand h4. This move does not only get the control g5, but it creates an effect from the rook on h1 to join an attack through that line. So what we see is that it's a very typical way to black plays a move like rook e8. Now, we are ready to play bishop takes h7. And after king takes on the h7, we've got knight in g5 coming. The whole point behind it is that if the black king goes back, of course, we've got queen h5, and then there's the attack on f7 and knight g6. This is really dangerous. We see queen takes f7, king h8, and now we have a lot of ideas like h5 perhaps, bishop takes into g, knight g6, we've got h6 coming. See, so the truth is that when that pawn is moving, we're going to cover it in some of the other videos as well. It's impossible for black to defend. It's actually amazing that how the sacrifice works when the h file can get open, and the truth is that it does. Knight g5, queen h5, and he's finished. Is there anything you can do? Well, maybe what if he actually takes stay with his bishop, hoping to survive this by not letting white's queen to come out in the attack together with the knight, which, as we said, are a great combination. Well, I guess it does, but now the pawn not only takes in g5, but also it opens the h line, and that is good. It's really, really good. Doing it is helping us to get to force the black king to move out of the way, and then we see after the bishop takes g, h6 to the g, and then we can realize there's queen to h5 coming up, so it's practically impossible for him to defend. Well, what's coming out next? Well, I guess that black has to do king q f8. The only way to stop the checkmate from h8, otherwise the square would have been lethal. Black has to move the king. Then we do queen h8 with a check. The king goes to e7. And now white does the most beautiful move. Knight to g6, which is totally destructive. I mean, the truth is that now f7 is protecting the king, and after we do this check and the black actually takes it, then queen takes f7 means that through g7 means that he cannot run anywhere. He's totally left with no defense. It's extraordinary to see this pattern. So sometimes bishop takes h7 works immediately, but sometimes it cannot. Sometimes we don't have knight g5, which is a really important move, including the supporter, which is a supporting piece, and joining it into the fight. You see, that's something we needed. And the truth is that we don't have that. So in that case, what we choose to do is to move off h4, so we can help ourselves to get that bishop takes h7 to follow. And then after rook e8, bishop takes h7, and then 9 to g5, queen to h5, queen takes f7, we get it working. This was a very beautiful way of doing it. And I have to tell you that you know, with this, it's helping people to understand how bishop takes h7 works as checkmates for checkmate. But okay, I mean, after all, is that all we need to know about the sacrifice there? Well, not really. There's one more example that I'd like to show you as a typical one on how to do a successful h7 sacrifice. This is from a game played quite some years ago between two masters, and what we realize is that White is in process of advancing his attack on the king side, which is great. It's got that knight, it's got this bishop, it's got that queen, and all of his pieces are well lined up. The only question happens to be, how do we do it? And the truth is that we answer that question with the idea. What if we take h7? So this has to be calculated. One of the most effective training and calculations when you do not move the pieces on the board. So for example, if we do bishop takes h7 here, and black does knight takes h7, let's think about it. And then we do realize that suddenly, actually all of a sudden, we've got that perfect g6 to follow. So black takes that g6, and we can do queen takes g6. It will be almost impossible for black to hold his defense there. So let's get it done. First, there is the capture. When black takes back, then there's the g6. And when black takes back again, then there's the queen takes the g6. Every single one of these moves is quite devastating for black, because it just helps white's position to advance so much. And so after knight f6, queen f7 check, then we have eventually the move of king h7 by black. Actually, if he goes in there, then we have this rook takes king h7, I suppose, rook to g6. And we see another kind of example how three of the white pieces, the bishop, the queen, and the rook, are becoming tremendously powerful. I guess after that move of g6, f takes g, queen takes g, this loses. So what about if he comes down to h8? Or again, what's our point here? Well, I guess in order to succeed with the threats, we need to destroy his actual final defense. So that's the g7 pawn. We take it out, And when his knight takes back, then we've got that rook to g1 coming up next. Attacking against this knight, she defends it. We've got knight g6, and it's just way too many pieces. It doesn't need to be a forcing checkmate. All we need is to know that there is going to be a continuation for our attack, and every single move that we play happens to be the continuation for this attack. Knight c7 attacking the rook, and also preparing us for a queen g6 or queen takes f6. That's more than enough. That's more than it actually takes. Queen e8, and now, what do? We can't have a take. We can take here, yeah, but then it's going to come back to h5. We don't need that. Next move to follow is this. Rook to g6 is tremendous, as it helps us to prepare the checkmate, and black loses. So what we see is that even if it's not the direct checkmate, the sacrifice of bishop takes h7 can also be used as a preparation for us to break the opponent's king's position, and the pawns to move on, like g6 and similar, which was extremely helpful and powerful. I mean, the way how white makes it to work just shows why is it so much valuable to play these moves. It's just totally wipe out the black king's defense, and later on we do something that is a part of the attack, and that's the ability to concentrate. So bringing so mmany pieces together, even with reinforcing moves, is still very successful. He just couldn't handle it. I mean, were there any other options than to take? Maybe what if his knight comes down? Well, I don't really think it would help, because after a knight in there, then we have g takes f7, king f8, and the next move is bishop h6. That's just one of the ways. So we can always take the rook, but I guess this is more powerful. He's losing. Why? Well, look at this. I think it's kind of beautiful, isn't it? Queen h7, knight takes h7, rook g8. That example makes you like the bishop. The bishop takes h7 sacrifices a lot, doesn't it? Oh, it made me love them. So hopefully you can make some of these in your next games.
Thank you for watching the video. Don't forget to give us a like and subscribe.